At this point, I don't even know how many of these I've done. This is probably like number 12 or something. So let's just get to it. Another scary set of facts. First up, if you were born in February, March, June, and September, you have serial killer instincts in your heart. This is dumb. This is almost certainly a reference to the popular internet fact that more serial killers are born in November than any other month. It's mostly a meaningless statistic. The sample size of serial killers is quite small, because believe it or not, there aren't that many serial killers, all things considered. So if you take every serial killer and divide them up based off birth month, you're more than likely just going to end up in the margin of error for everything. Also, saying you have the serial killer instincts in your heart is just a weird way to put it. Just say you have a higher chance of being a serial killer. This next one is talking about fatal familial insomnia. And I'm just going to say it outright, it is true. Fatal familial insomnia is a real thing, and it's very messed up. It's an extremely rare type of insomnia that only strikes certain families that have a certain mutation. That's why it's called familial. You have to have someone in your family who had it. So there's only like 12 families in the world. And if you have it, just one day you're going to stop being able to sleep. Just straight up. And then over the course of several weeks or months, your body and your mind deteriorate because you literally cannot sleep. It sounds horrible, and there is literally no way to treat it or to help it. You cannot take sleeping pills, you can't take melatonin. There is literally no way to sleep, period, because the part of your brain that lets you sleep literally deteriorates away. So a doctor couldn't even chemically induce sleep. You're just stuck, awake. I have nothing but sympathy for people in those families, because from the second you're born, you basically have an invincible timer that counts down to the day where you start dying. I genuinely hate this next one. You're always 6 minutes away from dying, but every time you breathe, you reset the clock. It's not wrong, but it's just dumb, you know? You can say the same thing about heartbeats or something. You are always surprisingly close to death, but that's why your body exists. All the things in your body exist to keep you alive. This next one is about exploding head syndrome. Don't worry, it's not a syndrome where your head actually explodes, it's just you hear loud noises. That's about it. There are just some people who are unlucky, and when they try to go to sleep or just chilling, they'll hear a big explosion in the distance. There are 40 volcanoes that could kill up to 1 billion people at any minute. I don't know where they got the statistic of 40 volcanoes and 1 billion people. The most dangerous volcanoes arguably are the supervolcanoes, and there's only 10 on Earth, and none of them have erupted in a long time. And even if a massive one, like say Yellowstone, went off, none of them are in an area where 1 billion people would die immediately. It would cause massive destruction, and maybe if you count all the ash blotting out the sun for a while, then you might reach 1 billion, but not within minutes. Due to loss of blood pressure, your eyeballs become flat shortly after you die. This is 50% right. Your eyeballs do flatten after you die due to loss of pressure, but it's not blood. Your eyes have their own little thing going on with eye fluid, and so when your body stops bodying, your eyes will flatten, but it's not from lack of blood.
Terrifying facts you didn't know about. You'll never be the same after the last one.
Already off to a great start. I won't be the same after the last one? It better be a banger.
On August 29th, 1968, all televisions in America shut down because a strange murmuring sound was heard.
1968, all TVs were shut down because they heard a murmur? This is just a weird retelling of the popular myth that on August 29th in 1968, every television was turned off because they could hear the devil's voice. They replaced the devil's voice with a murmur, probably because a murmur is more believable, even though, neither happened. If every TV in America shut off at the same time, it would not be a weird fact you find out in TikToks. This would be a historical event. Every TV in America shutting off at the same time when a weird sound's happening. You would have heard of it by now if it was true.
Did you know your phone knows what you are most scared of? Write "I'm scared of" and let your keyboard finish the sentence.
More engagement bait, as is to be expected with these. I'm gonna play along just because, and my phone says I'm afraid of what?
Humans have enough bite power to bite off their finger bone, and the only thing stopping us is our brain's natural safety factor.
Another common myth on the internet, that you can bite off your own finger. The one that's most commonly said is that biting through your finger takes about as much force as it takes to bite through a carrot, and the only thing stopping you is the pain and the fact your brain won't let you. This is not true. You actually can't bite through your own finger. At least not easily. Your mouth cannot generate enough force to bite through a finger in one clean go. In the rare case when someone does bite someone else's finger off, it's almost always because of multiple bites and a lot of ripping and tearing. It's not a clean bite through. You gotta do some chewing and yanking to get through that.
Did you know that TikTok knows your potential future partner? Your next romantic possibility is the first person that pops up when you click on share, then select more.
This is dumb. More engagement bait. I don't have to tell you that this is false. Anyone with a brain knows this. My guessing is, it's to make people accidentally share the video.
Off the coast of Ireland in 1973, 2 men in a small submarine experienced a malfunction. Their sub began to fill with water and sink to the ocean floor. Although the men were able to radio for help, they knew they only had enough oxygen to survive for 3 days. When the rescue team finally found them, they only had 12 minutes of oxygen.
So here's the one that's supposed to change my life. I'll never be the same after this. Surprisingly, this one is true. There was a submarine accident off the coast of Ireland in 1973. The only thing that's a little iffy is that they didn't have 3 days of oxygen left, they had a bit less, but that's only because they had used the sub for several hours before they sunk. If they were at max oxygen when they sunk, they would have had 3 days left. But everything else is true, even down to them having only about 12 minutes of oxygen left when they got rescued. I'ma be honest, I feel the same after knowing this. I don't think it changed me in any way, but at least the fact is true. One more video to go. There are at least 10 recorded cases of someone dying from laughter. Yeah, this is true. There are a lot of cases of people dying from laughter. The funny part is, I think they're saying there are at least 10 recorded cases because if you look up people dying from laughter, it's a bunch of top 10 lists. So if you just look up people dying from laughter and do no further research, you know there's at least 10. Death from laughter is a real thing, although it is extremely rare. But if we're talking about over all of human history, of course more than 10 people have died from that. At some point in time, a stranger has thought of killing you. This is true. I know firsthand, if you play League of Legends Ranked, probably everyone else in the lobby want to kill each other. In real life. Because people who play League of Legends are insane and toxic. Or Dead by Daylight. That game doesn't have ranked. Everyone's just like that. Selfies are responsible for more deaths every year than sharks. This is true, though it doesn't mean selfies are dangerous. It just means sharks actually don't kill that many people. Shark attacks are actually quite rare, so a lot of things are technically more deadly than sharks, like champagne corks or taking selfies. Just because sharks actually don't attack people unprovoked that often. There's a shack called the Devil's Toy Box in Louisiana, and people who go in there supposedly lose their minds. The Devil's Toy Box is not real. It's just some random spooky thing people share over TikTok like it's real. The Devil's Toy Box started in 2015 as a short story written on Thought Catalog by Joel Farrelly. That's it. It's a spooky short story that the internet ran away with. Nothing more to it. I'll leave a link in the description though in case you want to read it. When a person dies, they have 7 minutes of brain activity left in which they see a dreamlike sequence of their memories. This is not true. 1, not everyone dies the same way. Sure, if you die of, say, a heart attack, you might have some brain activity left, but if you die of brain death, there was no brain activity after brain death. Also, we don't know what happens after death. We don't know if you're seeing your memories, and it doesn't last 7 minutes usually. There's a lot of variance. Most serial killers are born in November. I talked about this already earlier. If you take every serial killer and put their date of births on a calendar, you'll probably get most of them in November. Just remember, the sample size of serial killers is so small that you can't really derive any real meaning from the statistics. That'll be it for this one. If you liked the video, feel free to like and subscribe. Otherwise, you don't. It doesn't really matter. I'll see you guys next time.